Right, the derby is today, and before we even get to tactics or lineups, I need to tell you what the Real Madrid fan base is actually feeling this morning. And the word I keep seeing everywhere is betrayal. Not fear, not excitement, betrayal.
Madre mia, that is the perfect word for it, Maria. One fan put it beautifully, and I'm quoting directly here, no nos queda más que armarnos hasta los dientes y entrar al juego sabiendo que jugaremos 11 contra 13. Armed to the teeth, playing against 11 plus the referee. That is the mood today.
And look, I want to be analytically fair here, that refereeing paranoia exists in every fan base before a big match. But the reason it's hitting differently with Madrid fans today is the history. Someone in the comments pointed back to February of last year, the month they say the league was stolen from them, and it's clearly still an open wound.
Tío, that wound never closed. People are calling it Liga Española, corrupción total. That's not just frustration, that's a worldview at this point. Madrid fans genuinely believe the institutional structures are tilted against them, and a derby against Atlético at the Bernabéu feels like the perfect arena for all of that to come boiling back up.
What's interesting to me analytically is that this refereeing anxiety is actually functioning as a motivator rather than a demoralizer. The fans aren't saying we're going to lose because of the ref. They're saying, we know what we're up against, so let's be ready. There's a defiant energy underneath it.
That defiance is very Real Madrid, isn't it? The whole todos contra nosotros identity. And honestly, going into a derby with that chip on your shoulder, with the Champions League quarterfinals already booked, riding the Lunin wave, the Vinny wave, I think it actually helps. The squad feeds off that energy.
Someone also wrote, que rabien y mamen, and I think that captures the other half of the fan base this morning. The ones who are just gleefully pointing at all the chaos and saying, look at us, we're in the last 8 in Europe, and now come get us.
I love that half of the fan base. Right, let's talk about something that genuinely surprised me in the fan comments this morning. The Arbeloa and Rüdiger conversation. Because this came out of nowhere, and people are absolutely loving it.
So Arbeloa spoke about Rüdiger in his pre-derby press conference, and judging by the fan reaction, he said something that really resonated. One fan wrote, and this is a direct quote, Arbeloa lo ha dicho todo de don Antonio Rüdiger, ¿qué más podríamos decir? Jugadorazo. The man is a don, with a capital D.
And another one said, El loco está aquí de nuevo. Es de los mejores centrales del mundo, por no decir el mejor. Tío, El loco is back, and the fans are treating his return to form like a religious event. After all the questions about his age, his consistency, and now he's walking into a derby as one of the most loved figures in the squad.
What I find genuinely interesting is that Arbeloa using his press conference to publicly celebrate Rüdiger is a very deliberate choice. He didn't have to do that. It tells you something about the relationship between the manager and this particular player. And it tells you Rüdiger is going to be absolutely central today with Militao out injured.
Speaking of injuries, venga, let's just name the absentees because it matters for context. Ceballos, Courtois, Militao, Mendy, and Rodrigo are all out for the derby. That is a brutal list. That's your starting goalkeeper, a first-choice centre-back, your left-back, and Rodrigo, who has been one of the form players in the squad.
And yet, the fan base isn't panicking, which I think reflects something real about where the confidence levels are right now. Beating Manchester City in their own stadium does something to a group's psychology, both the players and the supporters. The mood is, bring your problems, we'll solve them.
Also, one fan made a point I cannot argue with. They said Arbeloa deserves another year with the first team as head coach. Tito Floren, Arbeloa se merece estar un año más en la primera plantilla como entrenador. And honestly, after the Man City result, that conversation is happening in very serious corners of the fan base.
I keep saying this, and I'll say it again. Arbeloa's stock has risen so fast, so consistently, that it almost defies normal football logic. 3 months ago, people were nervous. Now fans are lobbying Florentino directly in YouTube comments. That is a remarkable trajectory.
And today is the biggest domestic test of his tenure. A derby at the Bernabéu against Simeone, with 5 first-team players missing. If he gets a result today, que barbaridad, the Arbeloa legend grows another chapter.
Now let's talk La Liga, because that's the third thread running through the fan sentiment today, and it's connected to everything else. A few fans specifically flagged this derby as, quote, fundamental para seguir en la lucha por la Liga. This isn't just pride, this is points.
Right. And the context matters here. Madrid are fighting in La Liga, and dropping points to Atlético today, at home, would be genuinely damaging to the title race. The fans know this. The corruption total comments aren't just venting. They're coming from a place of real anxiety about whether clean performances will be rewarded with clean results.
There's also a very pointed comment referencing the Osasuna match from February last year. Someone said, "De aquel arbitraje no se quejó Osasuna," basically pointing out that when Madrid felt they were wronged, nobody else cared. That kind of institutional memory is what fuels the todos contra nosotros mentality we were talking about earlier.
And you know what? That collective memory is part of what makes derby days at the Bernabéu feel like something bigger than football. It's not just 3 points. It's a statement. It's proof. It's "we did this despite everything working against us."
Also worth flagging, someone in the comments accused today's press conferences of being todas las preguntas con mala fe, buscando la polémica donde no la hay. Journalists fishing for controversy before a derby, which, honestly, is not an unfair observation. The media environment around these matches is completely designed to generate heat.
And Simeone is an absolute master at playing that game. His line before the derby, "Ya saben lo que pienso cuando vienen curvas," is perfectly constructed to sound profound while saying absolutely nothing. The man could get a PhD in meaningful ambiguity.
Meanwhile, Arbeloa talks about Rüdiger being world-class and the fans melt. 2 very different media strategies, and I know which one I find more interesting right now.
Look, wherever you're processing this episode from, whether you're going through the pre-match anxiety spiral, or you've somehow found a zen state, or you're just refreshing Twitter watching Simeone quotes, today is a big one. Hala Madrid.
We'll be back tomorrow morning. Whatever happens at the Bernabéu tonight, we will have the full fan reaction, the post-derby breakdown, and knowing this fan base, probably at least one take that breaks the internet. Don't go anywhere.